Mopar people, welcome back to the channel. I'm just Mopar Joe. Today I'm porting a Hemi intake. This goes on our little 426 crate Hemi that's going to the dyno soon. So hopefully y'all stay around for that. I've got some Hemi build up videos. Rick Seaman and myself, both working on the engine. He did a lot of the, well, he did all the finished machine work and everything on it. To bring it back to correct, we got new pistons installed. We reused the same camshaft, redegreed it. Now to prepare for the dyno, I'm gonna port match this intake the best I can. I think it's off bad enough that it needs something. So that's what I'm here to do today, try to make it nicer, where it'll transition into our Edelbrock heads. I'll show you a picture very quickly of how the gasket fits up to the head itself. And these are Ray Barton gaskets here. And then I can show you next step how the gasket transfers to the intake, and you'll see kind of the port mismatch that I'm talking about. So here is our mismatch, and I've got my line that I drew here just inside of where the gasket would be. I'm not going to go all the way out to the gasket, so at the end of this you'll be able to see my little line. I had those marked from the outside, see that? And that was the bottom. So if you flip that around, you have to look from that side, you'll be able to see it just right. So there we are. Something like that. I marked just inside of that. I'm going to leave my lines for safety reasons. Right? So we'll be very, very close to the edge. If you'll remember, our Edelbrock ports are literally the size of this gasket, if not barely bigger. So we can't do much about that, because if we cut through here, trim gasket, it may get into that intake bolt and have a little leak through here or leak through here. Don't want to do that. So my easy way of doing this, I've got my caliper. All I'm going to do, unlock it, rule 1. I'm going to take an initial measurement right there, 1683, okay? I'm going to take my snap gauge. I'm going to go in, if I can, about 3 inches. Okay, so we're always flowing from larger. Hear it? See, I can't even, these are short runners. That is stuck right there, can't pull it out. So I'm gonna bring it out. I'm in about 3 inches. 19, there we go, 1959, that's fine. 1.959. So now I did my percentages, and basically divide that number by that number. It's 0.86. So it's actually, that one's for this one. So 86%. This decreases by 14%. I'm not really doing very much up here. I am going to gasket match that line. It's going to be negligible. Okay. So we're not even worried about that. On the floor, I may make that line straight, but I'm not going to dig on down, leaving the floors alone. So when I'm all said and done with this, my goal is to have the same percentage. And I've got a 6-inch long burr, and I'm going on in here. And like these outer walls, see how this flows? Most of what I'm taking out will be on those walls, but also I'll have some casting out of here, and I'll hit this just a little bit. And you'll be able to see it with I'm going to try to get my GoPro in there. So when it's all said and done, it'll look like this. Ta-da. And it would look prettier with a light in there, but I'll show you that in a second. So just for funsies, I have not even tried this yet. I'm going to measure this opening and then go in and check. Same distance that I started. See if our percentage is close. 0. 1.766. Okay, get a little larger in there. 2.027. Simple math, I'm at 87%. So I'm still flowing from larger to smaller, right? But I had to open up in here. I didn't just go in 1 inch and cut this out great big. That would have done less good, I do believe, and with air velocity and such. And I don't pretend to be a magical head porter man. Let's try again. 1752. Okay. See the little cross hatch here on my handle. And this goes around the curve, so I'm not going to do it at a straight here. I have to curve this just a little bit, just like that. Okay. See? Can't pull out. I got to come out. 7.6. 1.979. This one is 88%. So it is a little bit larger than what we started on our other side. 86, 86, within 2%. I don't think I've hurt anything at all. I think I've only helped going from a larger space to a smaller port and get us to there. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the inside view for a minute. Notice I tried to leave a nice little safety margin here. I can use my finer bit and go zip and go on in with it. Same thing down that side, and then right here we're right on the edge. So I'll smooth her off, go all the way around, and then I do kind of like to, I'll use WD-40 on this and slow my bit down. I didn't really use any any fluid while the camera's in there, because I just assumed it would go right on the lens and then you wouldn't be able to see anything. So, see, we're kind of rough right now. Somebody might leave it like that, but I want it a little smoother. And here we go. So here's our intake. I know it's kind of hard to see from this angle. You would think these are about the same length. They're not. This is actually a longer runner. Maybe you can tell that. But when you look inside to where I ported, I could reach with my long bit all the way to right there. On the other side, I couldn't quite get around that curve. So we're still appropriately gasket matched, as you would say. That's how far I could make it in that runner. So probably to about right here, which is nice. Let's take a look down this side. See, I got a few lines left on the roof. It doesn't matter. A few lines over here. We are still larger flowing into smaller. And I checked those last percentages. I'm out like 87% or something. And some people may say, don't quit my day job, but I feel good about it. This thing's going to the dyno soon. We do have a date coming up. Let me spin you around, check the other side. You'll notice it looks exactly the same. And I really could sit here for another hour or two and grind this stuff out. I really don't think it would matter much. We have conquered what we want to do. And then we go around that corner. And there's our final corner. So at least it is now all ported equally. And if we check our gasket match one more time. There we are. I got a roof just about perfect. And the sides, there's a little lip on both sides, just centered. That's what I wanted. The floor, I left it basically alone. You see how rough it still is? If I can move down the line, I'm kind of having to hold this here. There it is. Didn't go crazy, but I opened it on up some.